Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. I'm the City Witch. So I have an unboxing video for you guys today. This one is a brand new deck that I won. So there was only 1,000 of these decks made and this one is number 742. So this is called the Inkromancy, the Skull Edition deck. So it's a limited edition deck as it says there on the back. The deck itself is really unusual, so just a little bit of information about this deck. So this deck is designed by tattoo artists. So every single card in the deck is designed by a different tattoo artist. I believe in the book it's going to tell us the artists with each card. So all of them look completely different. They all have their own feel and their own energy to them. This is a skull themed deck, and if you're like me and you love skulls and anything quite gothic, this is probably going to be the deck for you. The box itself so far, I'm really impressed because all I've done is take off the cellophane. I haven't done anything else with this deck. I haven't opened it, I haven't had a peek or nothing, guys, so I don't know what the cards are going to be like, but I am really excited and I reckon I'm going to really like this deck. So as you can see, it is silver foiled, so you get that beautiful shiny effect on the front cover. Hope you can see all the details, guys, because this box is absolutely stunning. There is a skull design on each side there, which looks like a screaming skull, so you can follow it round and sort of see it there, and then you get this tiny skull peeking out there on the box that slips open. So if I open that there, you can see the skull being revealed. So there's a lot of detail on this deck already before I've even opened it and looked at the actual cards. The box is quite hard. It's not damaged in any way. It's not been scuffed or nicked or kind of bumped on the edges. So it's in really good condition. It was packaged really well when it came to me. As I said before, this deck, only 1,000 of them were made. So if you find one, guys, it's probably going to be worth money in the future. So if you keep it in good condition, then you probably will be able to sell it on if you wanted to. This one is number 742. It does state it's limited edition. So as I say, only 1,000 of them made. Now, if you want to know a bit more information, I'll just read you this. So you can, I think you can buy these decks at www.inkromancy.com. It says Inkromancy is a unique tarot deck with each card illustrated by different tattoo artists from around the world. Use this deck for readings, creative prompts, and simply admire the artwork. So it was printed in 2022 by Weird Ink Society, and it was created in China. So you can probably check out both of those, guys. I will put the links in the description if you can't read that properly, but if you want to pause now and just have a quick read and note that down, you can do, but the links will be provided in case that you don't want to do that. Okay, so let's open up and have a look because I'm dying to see the cards. Okay, so we have a plain inner on there. Ooh, so plain again there, but we do have those beautiful little skulls all the way around the edging, which is quite a nice little touch. So I'll move the box to one side. So the first thing is the book. So the book is really, really simple, just plain white paper with information on. So it gives you a bit more information about the deck, telling you it's Inkromancy, 3 of Skulls edition. It's telling you, thank you for the support, our third tarot deck illustrated by tattoo artists from around the world. This guide can help you find meaning in each card based on the Rider-Waite tarot deck. So the information they're given is based on the Rider-Waite, which is fine. And then it's going to tell you each of the cards. So let's have a little look, see if it tells me. So yeah, so for example, the Fool tells you who it's created by and where they are located. And then it also gives you a link to them as well if you want to actually go and book a tattoo by that tattoo artist. So that's a really good addition, I think. It makes it quite interesting. And then it just gives you an upright meaning and a reverse meaning. So for the Fool, it says new beginnings, a beginner's luck, childlike spirit, and that's for the upright position. And then in reversed, it says ignore red flags, carelessness. Now, I've been reading tarot a long time, so I know there's a lot more meaning to the Fool than that. So if you're an experienced reader, you know you're just going to read these cards straight away. You're not going to need this guidebook at all, but it does give you the most basic interpretation if you are a beginner. But I do advise you to buy a proper guidebook, guys, because this is really simplified, okay? Throughout the guidebook, it's looking like we have a little bit of illustrations going on. Yeah, just a little bit of artwork going on just to give it a bit of detail. And I love that each card, it tells you who the artist is and gives you a link to them so you can go and book a tattoo from them if you're interested. So that's really interesting. So let's pop that to one side. So first of all, this is what the back of the card looks like. Look at that, guys. That is awesome. I love that. That looks really creepy. Like, he looks like some really sinful, demonic priest, like maybe like a priest of hell or something. That's really cool. I really like the silver embellishments as well. And you know me, guys, I like my backs to be really plain so you cannot tell which way up or down your cards are. And I definitely cannot tell based on that. So that is really cool. It is tarot average size and the quality, pretty good. That's really good. And even though it feels like shiny, it's got this like matte kind of feel to it in your hands. So it looks shiny on the camera, but feels matte. So that's quite cool. The sides of the deck are also silver gilded, which is also very beautiful. Loving that. Now let's have a look at the cards and see what we've got. So I'm gonna hold each card up to you one at a time, guys, so you can have good luck, the same as me. So this one is the Fool card. That's really pretty, isn't it? That's really colourful. I really like the way it's balancing on some crystals as well, rather than the typical about to jump off a cliff or step off a cliff edge, which is quite typical of tarot. But this one's stepping off of crystals, so that's really interesting and different. And I like that they're happy about it as well, like they're dancing off of it, you know, it's got that really happy vibe to it. So loving that. The Magician, ooh, that's interesting, isn't it? Look how that's split as well. Like there's different sides to that Magician. Like they're not all good. There is negatives there as well. And there's a divide in their magic, their energy. That is a very interesting interpretation on the Magician, but I do like that. Then we have the High Priestess. That's beautiful. I definitely get a very powerful vibe from that card. I really like the crown as well. And because the skull is kind of around her lower half of the face and it's coming through, kind of makes me think of La Santa Morte as well, because of the kind of half skull, half alive kind of feel, and then the golden crown as well. So I do get a La Santa Morte feel from that card. I don't know if anyone else does, but I do. Very pretty. Ooh, the Empress. Wow. You can definitely get a fertile feel from that, very sexual kind of energy from it. It's very, very pink. I'm not a fan of pink, but I don't mind this too much. So it's showing us corn and grain and stuff on here. So it's definitely giving you that fertile growth, positive energy that we get from the Empress. So easy to read, I think that one is. Then we've got the Emperor. Wow, that definitely exudes power, but not in the way I would interpret the Emperor. So obviously the Emperor can come with that arrogant, proud energy, definitely picking up on arrogance there, but also very full of himself, very confident. Wow, it's a cool image. Then we've got the Hierophant. So this one, we've got some books and we've got some eyes, and it actually looks like it's death. Like it's got that very death vibe to it because of the skeleton shrouded in this like robe. That's really interesting. It's definitely got that kind of learning, teaching energy about it. And it's definitely like referring to doing a bit of study and interpretation work there. The eyes are very interesting. I'm not sure where they're going with that, but maybe they're telling you you're not seeing clearly, or you're only seeing what you want to see. Very interesting interpretation. Then we've got the Lovers. Wow, that's really colourful, isn't it? I really like that. That's very psychedelic and makes me think of the 60s. I like how they've got little hearts for their eyeballs and they're staring lovingly into each other's eyes. Get a lot of really cool vibes from that card. And we all know what the Lovers mean. You know, it means a new relationship, brand new beginning, a romance blossoming and blooming, all of that happy energy for love. So very good. And then we've got the Chariot. That's interesting as well. So with the Chariot, usually we get some vehicle of some kind being pulled by a black and a white creature. Sometimes it's tigers, sometimes it's elephants. I've seen it being horses and bears and dragons and all sorts. But usually you get a black and a white one interpreting that you can go down one route and it might be all happy like love, and the other route might be, you know, quite difficult and rocky road to travel, and it's telling you have decisions to make. This one, I don't get that same vibe. This one kind of reminds me of the Devil card, actually, with the chains and everything. It sort of reminds me of bondage rather than travel and movement. So very different energy to that card. But maybe it's saying you're fixed or stuck in one location. And maybe it's implying that because you're not making a decision, you're procrastinating. So maybe that's the energy that's coming out from this particular version of the Chariot. Strength card. Oh, I like that. That's very gentle and loving. Definitely a different type of strength. It's showing her qualities being in empathy, sympathy, kindness, and that they are strengths, not weaknesses. And she's not brutal about it, but you can tell that she is prepared to kill, to fight for what she believes in because of that skull there. So that is a really nice interpretation. I really like that card. Ooh. The Hermit, that's very interesting. Definitely get that isolated vibe from that card. Definitely with the figure there, shrouded in this cape and not showing their face. They're definitely a bit more on the shy side there. That's lovely. I really like that card. The Wheel of Fortune. Oh, we've got the traditional kind of animals here. So normally you get the wheel in the middle, but instead they've put that on the, like on the skull there. I don't know if you can see that, guys, properly. That's really cool. I like that. So it looks like we have Phoenix, an angel, a dragon. Not sure what that last one is there. Does anybody know what that creature is there? Because I'm not sure. Kind of has like a little elephant's trunk, some tusks, but it kind of, the rest of it looks like dragon and horse mixed in there. It's obviously some kind of Eastern creature, but it's not coming to mind what that is. I don't recognise that one. I'd have to look it up, but that's quite cool. Wow, look at the Justice card. Gosh. So that screams justice, doesn't it? We have the sword there ready to smite and to go into action. We've got the scales for balance. You know, that definitely screams justice to me. It definitely screams law and order and bringing what is chaotic into alignment and dealing with the issues and facing consequences of one's actions. So that is a really cool card. The Hanged Man, very, very typical. Hanged man or someone of some kind being tied up and being stuck and trapped. Yeah, that comes with all the regular energies of a hanged man for me. I'm not picking up on anything different or a different interpretation. I think that's quite apt for what we're seeing for the Hanged Man. So I like that as well. Oh, I love the Death card. Death is usually my favourite card in the tarot, and yeah, I love that. Look how beautiful that is, guys. Even though that's death, I feel very peaceful looking at it. I feel very calm. I feel like it's definitely in a definitive end to something, and that there is hope and light represented by the moon there, and that you'll be guided to a new chapter. That is a beautiful card, and so far my favourite in the deck. Temperance. This looks like a very anime kind of feel one. So yeah, talking about that all-important balance there. We've got the traditional water being poured out of a skull. Although it's not usually poured out of a skull, it's usually poured out of a decanter, but the decanter's kind of in the skull's mouth. Can you see that, guys? That's quite cool. That's pretty. Again, I get gentle energies from that. Not usually the energies I get from the Temperance card, but I do like that. Wow, the Devil. So we've even got Lucifer's symbol here. The demonic symbol, one of the symbols used, I think, by Satanists, if I'm correct. But definitely people who worship and work with Lucifer. That's definitely the Luciferian symbol. That is really, really cool. I like that. And actually that entire card makes me think of Sabrina, the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, where he's like trapped inside Nicholas Scratch and his body's transforming. I feel like one of his feet should be a hoof for some reason. I feel like any minute he's going to be transforming and changing. That's very cool. I like that. Then we have the Tower. That's interesting, isn't it? Instead of it being a tower, it's three skulls stacked on top of each other. I will say usually we see the tower crumbling or struck by lightning or crashing into the ground in some way or toppling over, but we're not quite seeing that there. We're seeing them in balance, but we're seeing all these cobwebs, like your home base or your tower or the place you think is safe is actually not as safe as you think, 'cause it's not cared for, it's not taken care of in any way. It's actually being abused or forgotten about. So this could be maybe an interpretation of, rather than an unavoidable event that's going to happen and you have no control over it, you can just, you know, go through it. This instead gives me the vibes of you've kind of laid the foundations for something and you've forgotten about it, and now you're going to pay the price for that. That's the kind of vibe I get from this, that this is consequences, major consequences of your actions, your choices, and that what is about to happen is unavoidable and you need to own it because it's your shit to own. That's kind of what I get from that card. Let me know what anyone else gets from it, but that's the vibe I'm getting. The star. Oh, that's cool as well. That looks like graffiti on a wall. But I like that the star is being held by the skull. You know, this is about hopes and dreams, so I like that they've made it a little bit colourful. I like that they've sort of given you that vibe of, you know what, everything will be okay, everything will work out, don't stress about it. So that's a nice subtle energy. Then we've got the moon. And we've got this very gothic moon, and we see this moon a lot in gothic work. We see it in badges, we see it in tattoos. Lately, we've been seeing it a lot with kill star designs as well, that kind of funny moon there with the face and everything. So I like that they've chosen that, and I love the flower work as well that's been put into that. That's beautiful. Yeah. I kind of get the vibe that, yeah, every rose has thorns, and the thorns is what you need to focus on, even though they are not prominent, but they are there. That's kind of the vibe I get from that card. Very nice. The sun, that's an interesting interpretation as well, but definitely I get those successful vibes from this, all of those vibes of manifestation, dreams coming true, fortune, success, achievement, accomplishment, all of those energies are coming through to me here. So very typical sun card for me. Judgment, wow. So they've gone with a mirror there. I sometimes with tarot, when I get this card, often say to people, like, you are your worst critic. You are your harshest judge of character, and you judge yourself too harshly. And this, the reflection in the mirror, looking into the mirror and seeing yourself, it's about looking at yourself closely. So self-reflecting, but maybe what you're seeing is all the negatives and you're not seeing the positives. So that has a very interesting vibe to it. And then we have the World card. Again, that's a very interesting interpretation of the World card. I think they could have included a world in there somewhere. I like that there's an angelic theme there as well, but it looks like a fallen angel. And then we've got the dark and the light as well, everything coming into balance. So very interesting. The only colour on there as well is the red ribbon, which is an interesting choice. And it really draws your eye to it as well. Now we're getting into the suits, so we're starting with the cups. So we have the Ace of Cups, and they've gone with kind of little Joker there. Then we've got the Two of Cups. That's cool, isn't it? That's a very interesting way to show off this card, because this, on this side, you know, it's very, you know, overflowing with water. It's very alive. The hand is alive with flesh. This side, we've got the skeleton hand. So decisions to make indeed there, I would say. Three of Cups. So yeah, people coming together, enjoyment, cooperation. Definitely can pick up on that energy from that card. The Four of Cups. Here we have abundance. We have earthly pleasures. We have lots going on here. We've got some wine. We've got some gold chalices. We've got fruit. We've got a dagger. And we've got like this beautiful sun in the background. This woman who looks very sensual, very happy, very prosperous. Ooh, Five of Cups. That's a very dark card, isn't it? I mean, look at that. There's fire, there's wind, there's ice. You know, the cups kind of look poisoned. That's definitely a chaotic card. As we know, fives are always chaotic. They're always bad news. They're always negative. I definitely see that as very negative. Six of Cups. She looks bored. I'm getting that bored energy from this, like she wants something more, or she's not happy with a lot in life and she's looking for that green pasture being somewhere else. Yeah. Oh my God, look at that, how cute. Seven of Cups, that is adorable. Oh, that definitely gives me cartoony vibes there, but it gives me happy vibes. I feel like there's a lot of happiness in that card. I feel like it's a very peaceful card. It comes with very lovely energies, and that to me could either be friendship or a romance that's going in a really positive direction, which is interesting because I don't always get that from Seven of Cups in other tarots, but in this one I definitely feel like it's a positive vibe. And then we have the Eight of Cups. Ooh. So this kind of gives me energies of entanglement, chaos, turning your back on something, walking away from something, you've had enough, your cups are empty and you're just absolutely sick of what's going on. Yeah, breaking chains or shackles or binds in some way. Nine of Cups. That's probably my least favourite card so far, to be honest. It's really basic and doesn't give me the same vibes the other ones do. I kind of just feel like, yeah, it's, you know, dotting the I's, crossing your T's, making sure you're happy, making sure everything's in order and the way you want it and everything's going in the right direction, asking questions and making sure that you are thinking things through clearly. It just kind of gives me those energies, just really kind of boring stuff. Ten of Cups, that's interesting. So there isn't really any cups on this at all. This is just a woman in the background with a half skeletal face, hands reaching for each other. So it is like that embrace. It is two energies coming together, and it does give me a sense of fulfillment, accomplishment in some way, but it doesn't give me the same vibe other tarots do. Very interesting. It's also very psychedelic. It looks like the universe or the cosmos. Page of Cups. That's cool. I also like the fish coming out of the cup there. That's really interesting. Really pretty as well with colours. Knight of Cups. That's interesting as well. And that doesn't reveal a lot, so you'd have to really know what you were talking about with the Knight of Cups. I don't think that would be easy for a beginner to read. You'd have to really work at that. Queen of Cups, that's beautiful. Again, a bit of an anime vibe going on there. A bit cartoony, but I'm okay with it. I'm digging it. That's really cool. Loving her crown as well. The way it's not only got, like, almost looks like antlers, but I don't think it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be like a type of coral. And then we've got these shells and the starfish. And then we've got this beautiful chalice in her hands with the skull on it. That is stunning. That's definitely way up there as one of my faves. That's really pretty. Then we have the King of Cups. Oh yeah, look at him. He screams regal, doesn't he? He definitely cares as well because he's paying attention. He's looking at you in your eyes and he's definitely listening to you and he's really taking you all in. He's empathetic. You can feel that. Then we're going to the wands. So we've got Ace of Wands. Oh my God, does anybody else look at that and go, Hail Hydra? Because I do. I really want to go Hail Hydra because that's what that symbol looks like to me. Just looks like the symbol from Hydra. It also reminds me of the, oh, what's he called? The H.P. Lovecraft monster. Kind of looks a little bit like that. Does anybody else want to say Hail Hydra? Because I'm you know what, every time I do a reading with this deck now, I'm going to be going Hail Hydra on the side. We've got the Two of Wands. Ooh, I don't know if you can see that properly, guys. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. That's really unusual because it's so bright. It makes everything else on it look really dark. So there's a bit of decay going on here. This kind of looks like maybe a bad decision was made, or, you know, there's some movement for personal growth in some way here, personal development. You know, the one's kind of coming out here through the skull and kind of split the jaw away. Then there's another one coming through the rib cage. So it could be personal growth, development, transformation of some kind that they're trying to portray. We have the Three of Wands. That's also very cartoony, but I get Sailor Moon vibes from this with the pens there. That does make me, you know, kind of want to go Sailor Moon. Anyone else a Sailor Moon fan, let me know in the comments. But that definitely gives me Sailor Moon vibes. Again, I feel like this is a happy card though. I feel like this is a positive card. I feel like this is collaboration and good stuff. And I feel like this is turning to your loved ones for help, advice and support. I don't feel like this is a negative card at all. Then we have the Four of Wands. Ooh, we have rats going on here. We have rats coming together with their wands and their power, and all the rats are different. We have a white rat, black rat, brown rat, and kind of like a beigey rat. And then they're manifesting some kind of rat skull. That's really interesting. So manifestation, again, some kind of teamwork or collaboration going on here, working with others to accomplish a goal perhaps. Really interesting. Then we've got the Five of Wands. Yeah, this doesn't give you the same conflicting vibes that other ones do. Like Five of Wands, I always see it as like a battle, competitiveness coming out, some kind of competition. But this doesn't give me that same vibe. This kind of gives me the, yeah, they're fighting to get to the top. They're fighting to get to the whatever they're trying to achieve up here. And, you know, they're clashing, but it's not the same energies as other tarots. It's a bit more subtle than that. I get it as more healthy competition rather than really toxic type of competition. Then we've got Six of Wands. Again, I don't know if you can see that properly, guys. I really hope you can. Try and put it a bit closer so you can see. That's really interesting. Like, so the wands are around his head and there's one in his hand and they're like electric. So maybe a light bulb turning on, you know, an idea, a realization of some kind, power, success. Could also be accomplishment, achievement, you know, feeling like you're on top of the world a little bit. Interesting. Then we have the Seven of Wands. Again, you know, because I'm only really seeing the one wand there. Oh no, they're in the background. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so my apologies. So can you see that? They're in the background and then you've got this main one here going through the centre of the skull. Ooh, Eight of Wands. That's interesting. And all of the wands have different symbols on the top. They have the symbols for the 4 elements, earth, air, fire and water. We've got a round one there representing the sun. We have the moon up there. That's very interesting. Again, I hope you can see that, guys. Trying to tilt it a little bit so you can see. But yeah, that's really interesting. Nine of Wands. That one's a very tattooy design, isn't it? That's cool. Very old school. I like that a lot. It's definitely one of my favourites, I think. And then we have the 10 of Wands. Page of Wands. Ooh, that's interesting as well. With a flower on his head and then the wand. Again, very subtle little bits of colour, drawing your eye on purpose to certain areas. And then we've got the Knight of Wands. See, that's very knightly energy, isn't it? Yeah, we've got the shield for defence. We've got some horses going on. That definitely gives me more of the typical knight vibe that you would get in some other decks. So that one I prefer to the last one we saw. The Queen of Wands. Wow. That's pretty epic, the way that's drawn. Very colourful. Got a lot of cat vibes going on here. We've got a shrunken skull. Yeah, definitely makes me think of like Mediterranean magic, perhaps a little Mexican energy in there, or Aztec, something along those lines maybe. And then we have the King of Wands. I don't know what it is about this deck, but I keep thinking of programs. So is anyone else seen Castlevania with Belmont, where he has to fight that version of death at the end, that big monster? Like, that just looks like that so much. That's cool. That's so cool. I'm going to struggle not to tell people that this card reminds me of cartoons or, you know, programs on TV when I'm doing readings. I might have to not do readings with this for the public. So we're now onto the swords, guys. So this is the Ace of Swords. Very beautiful. And then we've got the Two of Swords, blindfolded. Yeah, very typical image there, I think. I like the moon in the background, and that gives me a very old school kind of vibe as well for a tarot. Not so much tattoo, definitely tarot vibe. Ooh, the Three of Swords. So they've gone for the typical three swords piercing a heart image, but they've done it very differently. They've got a crying eye in the centre. The skulls kind of looking away from each other. This is definitely a split, heartache, heartbreak. You can just see it all in there very clearly. Four of Swords. Again, I get a tarot vibe from that one. And this one. So we've got the Five of Swords here. So yeah, this one's definitely bleeding energy. It's definitely talking of pain, loss, suffering. Definitely get all those vibes from that one. I'll just give you another look at that. I hope you can see the swords, guys, in purple. It's quite hard to see. Then we've got the Six of Swords. That's quite cool as well. Wow. And then we've got the Seven of Swords there. And the Eight of Swords. Wow, impalement. Wow, that's definitely giving me the energies of, you know, backstabbing, suffering, you know, chaos. It's definitely a very typical Eight of Swords imagery there to me. Then we've got the Nine of Swords. Here we have like vipers, or yeah, we have like a snake energy going on. Not sure what that's trying to portray. Maybe, you know, sinister energies at play. Maybe the situation is poisoned, you need to walk away. Maybe what you're trying to do is very dodgy. Yeah, very interesting vibe to that card. Ten of Swords. Page of Swords, that's interesting. The bear with his sword. I feel like that should have been the knight, to be honest. I like that card a lot. I'm not sure why. I feel like there's a lot of personal growth there going on. I feel like there's a lot of strength with that card, a lot of determination. Then we have the Knight of Swords. And then we have the Queen of Swords. Not my favourite queen, but still quite pretty. King of Swords. Wow. That gives me a lot of weird energies and vibes, that card. I get very selfish energies from that. Like this king is just focusing on themselves, and the only way they're going to take action is if you appeal to their kind of ego in some way. Yeah, not a fan of the energy it's giving me, but I get what it's trying to say. Then we go into the Pentacles. So we've got the Ace of Pentacles and we've got a mountain of gold there. Definitely a card of success. Two of Pentacles. Ooh, your eyes are closed. You need to see beyond. That definitely gives me psychic vibes there, that you need to use your third eye, or that symbols are coming through to you and you're just not seeing them, that you're trying to, guidance is being given to you and you're perhaps missing it. Three of Pentacles. Ooh, that's interesting as well. Four of Pentacles, that's pretty. I get very gypsy vibes from that one. The Five of Pentacles, that's very sexual, isn't it? Almost looks like they're coming together, they're bonded in some way. But again, fives are usually quite negative cards, you know, speaking of loss and isolation, being shut out, but I don't kind of get that from that at all. That imagery is very, very different to what I would expect for this sort of card. Six of Pentacles. Oh, look at that. We've got shrooms. Yeah, growing out the skull. That's interesting. Again, they've gone for this like fleshed hand and then a skeleton hand as well. This kind of gives me the vibe that you should be, you know, sharing your prosperity in some way with others. Then we've got the Seven of Pentacles. Ooh, I hope you can see the skull in that, guys. Coming out through all the flowers. That's really pretty as well. 8 of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles. Ooh, I'm not keen on the imagery on that one. So far there's 2 cards in this that I haven't really liked, and this is definitely one of them. This doesn't speak to me at all. It kind of, I don't know, kind of reminds me of those colouring things you get as a kid where you apply water to it and the page has already got the colour kind of set into the paper, and it'll just change colour when you apply water because of all the little dot images on it. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, guys, but yeah, that's kind of the vibe it gives me. 10 of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles. Ooh, that's very 3D looking. Wonder if you actually wore 3D glasses, if that would look as if it's coming off the card. That's cool, isn't it? Just give me another look at that, guys. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles. She's very pretty. Wow. That's a beautiful card. And then we have the King of Pentacles is the last one. There are absolutely some stunning cards in that deck. As I said, there's only 2 that I really didn't resonate with, and there's quite a few in there I think you'd have to work at to understand what they're trying to say to you. But if you've been reading tarot a long time like I have, you shouldn't really need practice. You should really be able to kind of go, yeah, I know exactly what that means, because you've been doing it a long, long time. They feel really smooth, guys. Like, I can feel how smooth they are. So I do think they'd be really easy to shuffle. Let's have a go. Yeah, really easy and smooth to shuffle. They're not sticking, they're not tacky in any way. So lovely. So yeah, really enjoyed going through this deck. Each card gives me a different energy, a different vibe based on the artist, and there's definitely quite a lot in there that I think you could read easily based on the imagery. Some of them very traditional, some of them not. I think some of the cards are trying to give me different answers or a different meaning. So I definitely have to see what they were trying to say with some of the cards, see if they have gone with the Rider-Waite traditional meaning or if they've kind of applied something different to it. So yeah, really like this deck. Can't wait to use it. I would probably score it about a 7 out of 10. It's not perfect. There are things about it which I don't like, and there are things I do like about it. I definitely love the more colourful cards. I really like the different artists and the idea behind that. But there are a couple of cards in here that weren't traditional, that don't have meaning to tarot. And I think they could have done with asking the artist to maybe consider the theme of that card a little bit more in order to make it more traditional or easier to read. So it loses a few points for that. Really like the back of the card. Love how you can't tell whether the card is obviously upright or reversed. Fits in my hand really nicely, really smooth and gentle to shuffle. And I definitely think by the way it bends, you'd be able to do a lot of different shuffling styles with this deck. So yeah, so that is my review on this deck, guys. I hope you've really enjoyed it. As I say, all the information will be in the description if you're interested in purchasing one of these for yourself or seeing if they have any left. If you did enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up, click the bell so YouTube will tell you when my next video comes out. If you'd like to support my channel with light and love, you can do that through Patreon or my Amazon wishlist. Both links are provided. If you'd like to book a professional reading by me, you can do that via Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or via email, and all the links are provided, guys. Thank you very much for watching and supporting me. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Blessed be.